Sub-Zero supered us $5 and said, Theorycraft, maybe it's Thrall's fault for the Primalist awakening when he couldn't commune with the elements in Legion expansion, I think. So I don't think it'll be Thrall's fault, but I think Thrall could certainly be deeply involved if they want to bring him back. Which I guess sort of means, are they going to get Mattson back in the studio?
Yeah, that's the awkward part where I feel like Thrall was kind of left in the bit in the dark. And he was there for Shadowlands for no reason.
He's had very vestigial appearances in the game. It's like, it's Thrall. You remember him. He shows family. Just like Chris Mattson, who is Thrall.
Yeah.
But I've always felt like, okay, I want more like Thrall the dude to be like there.
Yeah, I'd rather
Maybe maybe he should retire.
Yeah, no, I'd rather he retires and stay completely out of it because I feel like his arc was kind of close enough finished whenever he handed the player card to the Doomhammer and then went, right, I'm way off to see my family. Fuck it, that's me retired now. I'd rather that be the case rather than like, oh, Thrall, please come back with the elements to deal with. I'd rather like, because I'm expecting this, where because a lot of the impetus for the elementals is actually Grim Totem led. I'm hoping that's like a full-on Baine Tauren story instead of Orc being like, Thrall being like, hey, elements, that's me. I'm the only one that's ever done any of this at all. Ha ha ha. It'd be nice if Baine was like, oh yeah, I guess I'm not really a shaman, I'm more a warrior. Is any Tauren shamans? What I do here? Totems? Alright, jams the totems down. Let's sort this Grim Totem motherfuckers out. I think that would be pretty compelling. As long, sorry. I have this thing where I make up things that happen and get really angry at them in the blink of an eye, and it's really frustrating. I just imagine an entire world where they have a perfect setup for Baine, perfect setup for the Grim Totems, perfect setup for Baine, and to have like that moment of revenge against the clan, and kind of try to make choices that differently from his father and stuff, and all of that good old classical. I'm now the leader. I miss my dad. Why did he have to get poisoned? That was unfair. That stuff's all good classical storytelling, but I just imagine a world where they're like, elements, sorry, we only have time for the evokers to deal with this because they're the fun new class and they've got an emotional story to tell, so Baine, take a wee backseat there. I'm assuming they won't, but it is a fear of mine.
Poor Baine.
It is a fear of mine.
Poor Baine.
Yeah, he's so fucking Torrents.
Like, I know Christy Golden loves Baine. Seems to always for us a chance to like write Baine.
Yeah.
Like, I just want some Baine in the game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He can be a good boy and he can be sad.
Yeah.
You can use him being sad to make people feel things.
Or an elementalist just a parody of the environmentalist? No unknown character 14, because then they wouldn't be the villains.
The elementalist. I suppose we don't.
Because we haven't seen a lot of this.
There's like a lot of the initial thrusts of this expansion, like, because evidently something happens that's making Khadgar, come back and say, hey, I'm going to slam my stick in the floor and say it's time to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.